Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And earlier today on Instagram, I posted a picture of me doing a back lat spread. And my Instagram is @GymTimeWes, by the way. But to that post I added a text about exercises that will help you get that classic V taper, and 3 of those were the lat pull down, assisted pull-ups and the V bar pull down. And today it is mostly about the back width, so we definitely will be doing those 3 exercises at least. And to me, the most important exercise that'll get you a V shape is the lat pull down. And there are various ways of doing it, but I like the one I did at the start, the neutral grip lat pull down. I just feel stronger this way and feel that I'm able to engage my lats a lot more. And then the next exercise that you're seeing right here is another great lat pull down variation, and this version allows you to pull even deeper and engage even more muscle fibers, and therefore it also is more difficult to do because, at least for me, because it is a longer range of motion. So the muscle is under tension for a longer period of time, which is good for muscle growth. Definitely try this one out and feel the difference for yourself.
Huh? Ja, maar dan is hij schijnbaar op de film weer.
Je camera zo. Daar heb ik ook niet met mijn kurs gehad. Ik moet goed filmen. Dat zijn geen niet films, hè?
Jij moet mooi houden, want wij zijn aan het filmen nou.
That was probably pretty interesting for the Dutch-speaking audience, but I tried to translate some of it. Now we've arrived at the assisted pull-ups, and you could do regular pull-ups as well if you wish, but for me it is not possible to do 4 sets of pull-ups with good range of motion after already having done 2 heavy exercises. But this kind of resembles the last exercise, except the stretch is deeper and there is a different feel to it altogether, since it's your own body weight that you're lifting, and the 2 exercises are in great synergy because this way you hit a lot more muscle fibers than you would by doing just one of the 2. One of my favorites is up next, the V-bar pull-down. The stretch on this is absolutely amazing. And the same goes for the contraction, but you do have to force the stretch a little bit here to get an extra advantage. And I do this by rocking forward a little, as you can see, as I stretch my arms out to really activate those lats during the stretch. And this also helps you pull a lot harder when your lats, with your lats, as opposed to your arms. And as you can see, when I'm pulling right here, even the traps are a little involved. It's basically an exercise that works well for the back width and the back thickness, even at the top. So I really suggest adding this to your routine and making it one of your go-to exercises on back day. To grant some attention to the lower back as well, I added in this interesting row. And I think I showed this one once on this channel before. But anyway, just as with the seated cable rows, I make sure to stretch the lats all the way out so I activate them as much as possible, along with the spinal erectors and the lower back muscles. You know, this is a row movement, so this will get you that back thickness on the lower back for that Christmas tree. But by doing it in this fashion, as you can see, stretching out the back completely, a true full range of motion, you target the whole back, including the lats, to also improve upon that classical V taper, the back width. And now it's time to work on the thickness on the top of the back, the rear delts and the traps. And this is one of my favorite exercises now. I used to do this one a little differently. I used to have my palms facing backwards while doing these reverse flies. But now that I changed my hand position and having my palms face inwards, I feel a lot more rear delt and trap involvement. And I also like doing quite a lot of volume on this one, so I started out with 25 reps and do 4 sets ending with 12 reps, really filling up those rear delts and traps. And then we immediately follow up with some upper back rows. For a lack of a better name, but this again activates the rear delts and the traps. But the previous exercise was emphasizing the rear delts, and this one emphasizes the traps. Now you could clearly see me bringing my shoulder blades together, and that requires your traps to contract. And now we move on to the biceps, and I rarely ever do this machine, but it was quite busy today, so the preacher bench was occupied. But that is okay. It is a natural way of adding variation to the workout. And this is actually an interesting machine. You can move the handles independently, even twist them, so I took advantage of it and turned my wrists outwards as I curl upwards to really contract the biceps as much as possible. And this exercise is a classic, of course. It's the same movement as the previous one actually, but then without an angle and with dumbbells. Targeting different muscle fibers, different stresses on the muscles, and a different response to get that full 3D look on those biceps. And what you want to feel in this one is a burning contraction at the very top of the movement. You do this again, turning the wrists outwards as you curl upwards, so that you force your biceps to contract as hard as possible. And you also carve that split in between your two bicep heads this way. And now, the ultimate bicep classic, the straight barbell curl. And this is one that Arnold used to do. He claimed he would go up to 275 pounds on this one, which is 120 kilos. Well, I am not there yet, obviously, as I'm only curling the bar right here. You know, if you really want to focus on your biceps and perform with correct form, you can't really go heavy on here, especially I can't. The bar weighs 20 kilos or 45 pounds, so it's pretty heavy on its own for biceps. And a trick I like to show people to know whether you're stretching the biceps properly is to contract. You know, if you see your triceps contract at the bottom of the movement, you know, this way you know that your bicep is stretched enough, because you can only contract the tricep like this when the bicep is stretched like that. And as you know by now, my triceps are a weak point, so I like to finish them off. This is just one exercise, but I feel that it works my triceps the best without putting too much stress on the elbows. And I immediately start quite heavy. You know, rope pushdowns aren't easy when you do them right. And I squeeze the triceps as hard as I can at the bottom and make sure that I feel a stretch at the top. And I also put a drop set at the end to make sure that I stimulated the triceps enough. And this was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This week I'm uploading the lean bulking video, and the next Q&A is coming up. Definitely got a lot of questions from you guys. Thanks for that. And thanks for watching, but if you have any suggestions for me on what to improve or anything else, do not hesitate and please tell me because I could use the input. And don't forget to stay golden.
I know, but